My name is Roxana Villamichel, board member of Friends of Music of Cuernavaca. It is an honor to be invited by my friends, the artist Manuel Bennett, his son Russell, Dr. Juan Ricardo Coyuc, and cellist Carlos Prieto to introduce their TV program called Graphic Images of Music. This program is a non-profit educational production by the Tecnológico de Monterrey Media Department, Cuernavaca Campus, Morelos, Mexico. It is based on more than 50 years of Bennett's investigations, showing that people can see graphic images or colors or have rhythmic feelings when listening to music. The objectives for doing this TV program are to teach people to hear music in a new way, to make people more perceptive, creative, and inventive in everything they do, to work with the students and staff of the TEC under the leadership of Dr. Juan Ricardo Coyuc to develop Bennett's concept.
It is a privilege to bring those pictures to you, as the art of Manuel Bennett is worth knowing and worth having the world know it.
To have the students give their opinions, interacting with each other, the artist Manuel Bennett, the music coordinator, cellist Carlos Prieto, and the tech staff making this project a very unique learning experience for all those participating, as well as the public viewing it. How did it all happen? In what better way to say it than through Bennett's son Russell's own words? Now, in his early 60s, and witness to the developments of his father's wonderful ideas and discoveries, Russell expresses the following.
Welcome. Please join my father, Manuel Bennett, creator of the idea for this unique TV program called Graphic Images of Music, and have the pleasure of meeting some of his supportive friends, well-known musicians, and educators. This project started over 50 years ago when my father, who would often help my mother, a primary school teacher, develop new ways to stimulate children's learning. One activity would be to show the children diverse types of art, asking what they liked or disliked and why. Music would often be played while the children moved their hands and bodies, and at times they painted colors on paper. The children's reactions were joyful and perceptive, often overwhelming. One day, one of the children asked my father, "Can people see music?" "Yes," was his answer, and the next question was, "What does music look like?" The questions asked by that child made my father realize that listening to music had always been a stimulant for his art, helping him convert musical sounds into graphic forms. Through the years, he completed more than 600 drawings, paintings, and sculptures related to and inspired by music. They include interpretations of classical, jazz, vocal, dance rhythm, folk, soul, and carnival music. Additionally, he has created drawings of landscapes, musical symbols, and instruments. He continues to use music as an ongoing inspiration. Manuel Bennett asks you, the viewer of this program, if you have ever seen graphic images, colors, or if you have ever felt physically moved or motivated when listening to music. If you have, he hopes to stimulate you further. If you never have, he wants to introduce you to a wonderful world of art and music. Please have a pencil, color pencils, or pens and paper with you throughout this program, and feel free to doodle or scribble your impressions on paper, or write word pictures of what you see and feel. Here is my father making quick sketches while listening to music, which he will later turn into detailed drawings. Can anyone see music? Yes, it is possible, even without any training in art or music. For example, when talking on the telephone, many people doodle or scribble on any nearby paper, putting down seemingly meaningless marks. Subconsciously, Do these marks mean something to them in graphic form? Instead of doodling or scribbling while on the telephone, do it while listening to music on the radio, CD, DVD, TV, or at a concert, even using the printed concert program. He believes you will be amazed at your newfound ability to see graphic images of music. It can also stimulate your brain to analyze problems of many different kinds. My father also believes that everyone hears music differently, as the images in one's mind or one's body reactions are different. It depends on the individual's age, experience, and imagination. My father also noticed that each time he heard the same piece of music, his graphic image changed completely. So for this television program, he had the tech students mix his artworks together regardless of their subject, because they all convey a sense of rhythmical movement. This will create an overall mosaic, uniting the artwork and the performing musicians, singers, and dancers. The students were then free to animate these works and place whatever type of music they wished, wherever they wished.
Music is a very special way to communicate, to touch souls, to bring joy, to share sadness, to change lives. For me, every song has its own color, and every time I sing a song, the color changes.
Que para mí la música, para mí como pianista, la música en sí mismo es un lenguaje independiente, ¿no? Pero por supuesto que para nosotros es una fuente inagotable el relacionarla con otras artes, especialmente con la pintura. Los dibujos de Manuel que nos hacen pensar cómo puede retratar en mis ojos una expresión que yo veo que es mía, y él en ese momento supo, Manuel, captar esa expresión. Para mí eso es formidable, y admiro muchísimo en este caso un pintor, un dibujante.
He also says that art and music become equal, since they are both important necessities of being human. Being able to see music while listening to it can delight your brain. It can open up your vision to many new images and thoughts. The imagination of our brain can be unlimited if we put it to the test.
Para amigos de la música, esto es una gran experiencia. Es realmente cumplir con nuestro cometido, transmitir las experiencias artísticas, las que realmente unifican los valores que deben de unir al género humano, los valores que transmiten la dignidad de los hombres.
He says the magic of music is that you hear it, you feel it, you sing it, you hum it, you play it, you dance to it, you are stimulated by it, it's a safe, non-toxic substance, you communicate with it and through it. You can create your own, you can dream it, you can combine it with art. You can create word pictures of what you hear see, and feel.
I've seen also through young people how they dance and express themselves. And it's also showing the way they connect to fashion, to their own selves, to the way they want others to see them. And I think music is a universal language through all our senses. You can see music, you can feel it, and I do through my emotions.
One of the many ways my father put his brain to the test was by making abstract variations of cello shapes, clef symbols, and letter forms of the names of musicians and composers. He also developed numerous fractured drawings to give these works greater rhythmical intensity.
I think music is one of the arts, just like painting, literature, poetry, can be others. So in my mind, there should not, and there is not too much difference in how one reacts to a great piece of music or to a piece of music and how one reacts to the visual arts or painting. I am one who believes that all the arts are related. And actually in the history of music, you have many, many examples of this, both with literature, poetry, and of course painting. I've had the chance to do actually a whole season of works that have been inspired by painting, or works that have a very clear connection with painting, such as the very famous Mussorgsky pictures at an exhibition, or so many other pieces of music. You know, there's a famous Hindemith, Matthias der Maler, that's based on German, a very old German triptych, and that, you know, the by Dürer, you know, and so music and painting to me are actually just different manifestations of the same thing.
Both my mother, Beatrice, and father, Manuel, are in their late 80s. They are still full of curiosity, still testing their brains, exploring and discovering new ways to stimulate different age groups, including among the handicapped, through art and education. The color illustrations of dances reproduced in this TV program are from my parents' books for children done many years ago, which are still used in the Mexican school system. Altogether, my father illustrated 22 published books and continues to work on others. Many people have commented on my father's creative work over the years. I would like to mention only three. The first is from an interview with Dr. John Dial of Marquette University in 1964. Dial: are you consciously striving to be original? Bennett: I believe that an artist should have a purpose, and to accomplish this purpose he must be inventive. He should learn to observe at all times. In this way, he will learn to think abstractly, not for abstraction's sake, but in order to develop his artistic awareness. The second comment is by Teresa del Conde, director of the Painting and Sculpture Department of the Mexican Institute of Fine Arts, in 1976, who said, Bennett begins very consciously with a tangible reality, be it a landscape, action, animal, human figure, or environment. In the creative process, he extracts from this reality its internal structure and presents it to us converted into the geometric substratum which underlies it. In the third commentary, world-famous designer Herb Lubalin wrote in the international graphic arts magazine Upper and Lower Case of June 1977 about my father's abstract alphabet. Bennett's inventiveness seems unbounded and cannot help being a stimulant to any artist reviewing it. Here is a view of this article. My parents have visited many interesting countries through the years, but working with the well-known cellist Carlos Prieto is like traveling around the world with him. Carlos Prieto is one of Latin America's premier cellists. He has performed throughout the world and has received many honors. He has recorded over 80 works and is the author of 6 books. He came to my parents' home to work with my father and people from the TEC. A few weeks later, he wrote, "Dear Beatrice and Manuel, we had a nice trip in New York. Yo-Yo Ma loved the drawings and sends his congratulations."
Creo que las artes están todas ligadas entre sí. Quizá muy en particular la música y la pintura, aunque la música es la más abstracta de las artes porque no habla, a diferencia de la poesía, o no pinta cosas realistas como la pintura. Pero el mejor ejemplo de la relación de las artes quizá se pueda ver en la legendaria compañía de los ballets rusos de Diaghilev, en donde colaboraban bailarines extraordinarios como Nijinsky, con pintores como Picasso o como compositores como Stravinsky. Todo dentro de un mismo conjunto concebido para un determinado ballet. Yo creo que la música, si tiene uno suficiente imaginación, hace pensar a veces en la naturaleza. Hay obras de Beethoven o de Debussy que representan la naturaleza, o en la problemática más profunda del hombre, como pueden ser los cuartetos de Beethoven.
We hope this unique program gives you a new insight when listening to music and helps you form mental pictures and colors of what you hear and feel in the future.
As part of our media studies, I have the privilege of teaching a semiotics class. Semiotics is the study of signs, the signs we use to communicate. Sometimes in my classes, I ask the students to close their eyes, and while listening to music, I ask them to imagine colors, situations, characters, places, what the music can evoke of them in a graphic way. I've been always amazed at the richness of imagination that music can bring about in people's mind. What is certainly true is that music is definitely associated with images.
We plan to continue this project in part 2, called Graphic Images of Music from the Brain Scientist's Point of View. We hope to collaborate with a group of neuroscientists, other artists, and musicians to advance our and the public's knowledge of our brains. Manuel Bennett is proud to belong to the great family of thinkers. To paraphrase what Alessandro Rosi Franelli, head of Rome University's Institute of Biochemistry, said in 1964, "I'm proud to belong to the great family of scientists. We are like artists who speak a particular language, a spiritual, fraternal, international language."